There's a 20-year-old guy named Brandon Watts from Philadelphia who was at the New York protests yesterday when a lot of stuff went down. And he threw a AAA battery at a police officer and then took off the officer's hat. And so, of course, they attacked the guy. He ended up hitting his head on the ground and getting a big gash on his forehead, and he was all bloody. And some photographers took a photo of him, and I think we have that photo. And it made a bunch of headlines in New York. It was on the cover of Metro and the Daily News. And so people are saying that this guy is now the face of Occupy Wall Street.
Yeah, well, you know, it's funny. Every movement in America, every serious movement in America that accomplished anything, you know, the photo takeaway from it has been very important. And you think of the civil rights movement especially, that until there were photos, until there was tape, until you saw dogs going after these kids in the park in Birmingham, and those photos were all over the world, they didn't have the impact that the knowing that there was a movement and there were Jim Crow laws and segregation in the South had. And as soon as that happened, it totally changed the tenor.
So you
as soon as you saw John Lewis, yes, I think this is good. I mean, it's terrible to see someone bloodied on the front of the page, but I do think that it sends a global message about what's going on with the Occupy Wall Street movement. So, in those terms, I do think so, because I think photographs are the most powerful, clearly, images.
They've been used forever.
Yeah.
Do we not have the old lady as well? I mean, that was the other one I was thinking.
That's what I was just going to say,
right?
was screw this guy who has a bloody face. I don't want the 99% to be represented by a bloody face. What about the woman, the 84-year-old that was pepper sprayed on Wednesday? That should be the face of Occupy Wall Street, that anyone can be in the 99%, even this old woman.
Right.
And this young 20-year-old guy, this is his 4th time being arrested during the Occupy Wall Street
movement. But you don't
movement.
know that when you pick up a paper in Brussels and it's on the front page of your paper in Brussels. You have no idea. You say, oh my God, look what's going on. The police state in New York, and these people are really just protesting whatever they're protesting. It does have that sort of power, you know, when you see a bloody image.
And also, number two, we're not in the Hall & Oates era of 1982, so it's not like we need a still picture.
No,
you know, there's lots of moving images that we've seen that aren't just a still picture that's put on a newspaper. Because, I mean, I hate this line, but who reads a newspaper? And the actual
I do.
print, yeah. what's the main newspaper in Minneapolis? Oh, this is easy.
The Star Tribune.
Of course, I knew that one.
Yeah,
but
no, St. Paul Pioneer Press is right next door.
He knows every newspaper in the country.
That's crazy, by the way.
Well, I don't know every single one. I know a lot of them.
But there's a lot of moving ones, and so it's harder to say we need a still picture when there's lots of ones that we've just seen. People are recording everything. Yeah. But we kind of forget those, I think.
No, I think you're right.
The change it's been.
I think you're right, Jayar. But I think when you see a still picture, it grabs you. When you see that photo, it grabs you. It is a YouTube, conscious society that we live in right now. Video and tape and all of that is the most important thing we can see. But for a second, in a flash, that picture grabs you, and images do grab you, and photographs do grab you, because we all do. We imagine the rest of that photograph. If you see a friend's trip, or if you see somebody getting beaten over the head, it kind of takes you someplace else.
And you think that there's a bunch of other people that look the same way because of this one guy.
Exactly.
You think that that's happening everywhere in every city.
Or even, yes, that's true. I mean, you do think that. You think that it is a movement, and that's what this is. I mean, the Occupy Wall Street was established to be a movement.
Yeah.
So, well,
okay.
Right, or it was somebody who fell. So.
On accident.
Yes.